Hey guys, today we'll be crafting a non-crit quiver. This is good for people who want to upgrade their quiver early or don't want to crit swap. This quiver is my best outcome from 6 or so attempts of testing the method I'll be showing you today, but I can tell you that there are some pretty gloomy outcomes. However, most outcomes will be a significant DPS increase, especially for a newer player. Just a warning, we are using recombinators to make this quiver. Thank you to Recomb for constantly updating the recombinator sheet and sharing his information with us about recombs. I'll link his sheet down below in the description. This is what we want to achieve from the recombinator. Our main base for the recomb will be a primed quiver or vaulted quiver. On our main base, we want T1 projectile speed and +2 to level of all projectile skills. Our only requirement for the second quiver is that it has a desecrated tier 5 to 8 dexterity mod. According to Kraken's recombinator sheet, there is a 0.14% increased success rate if it is eye level 82 plus, but then there is a 0.145% chance to choose this base. This was never a problem for me, I just chose the cheapest quiver available. I'll have a trade link down below for both quivers. There will be a 50% chance to recomb this without the Omen of Recombination. The Omen of Recombination makes your recombs lucky, which means it rolls it twice and chooses the best outcome. This means it will be a 75% chance instead of a 50% chance. You will need Broken Circle artifacts to recomb. These can either be bought for very cheap, or you can run Gwynen's expedition yourself. Price breakdown is going to be a little sketchy. The base really depends on how many people find this video and decide to make this quiver. I personally bought mine for 10 to 20 exalts consistently, but I do see a lot of them being priced at around 30 to 40 exalts. You will also need one or a few Omen of Recombinations. It is entirely up to you whether or not you want to use this to increase your chances. I do recommend it, but it isn't compulsory. We'll be using our trusty Omen of Homogenizing Exaltation. You'll need 2 Greater Exalted Orbs, and you'll need an Omen of Greater Exaltation if you want to save yourself an extra Greater Exalted Orb. Here are some rather expensive things that you may or may not need. The first is an Essence of Hysteria. This essence removes a random modifier and adds percentage increased damage with bow skills for quivers. If you miss percentage bow damage on your exalt slams, you will assess if it is worth it to slam this essence. Since the essence will remove a random modifier, we will use an Omen of Sinistral Crystallization to only remove the prefix when using a perfect or corrupted essence. The final step, which is completely optional, is to use the Omen of Light to replace the Dexterity Desecration. It is hard to give an exact price, but this is an estimate of what it will cost you, but do bear in mind that this craft is a big gamble. Here are the 2 bases that we need for our quiver. If you want more information, please go back and watch the bases part of the video. Put both bases into the recombinator and make sure to select projectile skills and also projectile speed. And on the other base, you want to select the desecrated mod. If you've done this correctly, you should have a 50% chance for success. Activate your Omen of Recombination and recomb. Your recomb should now look like this. We will now be using the Omen of Homogenizing Exaltation. As you can see here, projectile speed has the speed tag, dexterity has the attribute tag, and plus projectile skills has no tag. So if we slam an Omen of Homogenizing Exaltation, we are able to guarantee attack speed. And we do not need to use the suffix exaltation Omen. This is because attack speed is the only modifier that it can be. Use a Greater Exalted Orb and don't forget to activate your Omen. Everything after the attack speed will now be a gamble. And the next step is to just slam 2 Greater Exalted Orbs. As you can see from the list of prefixes, they all share the same tags, so using an Omen of Homogenizing Exalt will not affect anything. While you're blind slamming your Exalt, you do have a really good chance of hitting 2 good prefixes. I have personally crafted this quiver multiple times, and despite landing pretty average rolls, the DPS difference is really not that big compared to an almost perfect one. You can use an Omen of Greater Exaltation to save yourself a couple of exalts. As you can see here from this slam, this was pretty insane. For this quiver, I did decide to use an Omen of Light to remove the Desecrated mod, then I desecrated it. Here is an example where I did hit accuracy. There are 3 options where you can go from here. The first is relatively simple, you just keep it and settle. I would highly recommend this option if this is your first quiver you're crafting. The other option is to restart. Either buy a new base, or you can use the same base and recomb it with another desecrated dexterity mod. And the third option is the most expensive option. You can attempt to use an Essence of Hysteria with an Omen of Sinistral Crystallization and try to get rid of the accuracy prefix. So when do you actually slam the Essence of Hysteria? The first is when you hit double flat damage, and both are at least tier 1 or 2. Be aware that you still have projectile speed as one of your prefixes, so you could potentially lose this prefix. This one is not recommended, but if you do manage to hit one T1 flat damage and then a low tier flat damage, you can gamble the 1 in 3 chance to remove the lower tier flat damage. If you do hit accuracy, it will always be a 1 in 3 chance to remove it. So I would only use the Essence of Hysteria if I hit T1 or T2 flat damage. Once again though, if you do not have currency to spare, I do not recommend it. The Essence of Hysteria will remove a prefix and guarantee increased damage with both skills on a quiver. We will narrow the odds by using an Omen of Sinistral Crystallization to only remove a prefix when using a perfect or corrupted essence. As you can see here, I did miss the 1 in 3. However, this is still perfectly fine to use, and in general, this should give you a pretty big DPS increase. If you did manage to hit a really good quiver, you can use the Omen of Light to remove the desecration and re-desecrate it. However, I'm not sure what the best last mod would be for a quiver. I personally chose Chance for additional projectiles while moving because it seemed fun. I'm just going to YOLO it. So we just keep doing this until we hit. Okay. It's unlucky. Oh, it's 50-50, right? So technically it should be 2 bases. Okay. Please! Oh, yeah! Think lucky, think lucky. For scientific purposes, we are going to use a Recomb. It's so expensive. Yeah. Please. I highly recommend you to use the Omen of Recomb. Bro, okay. Okay. Please. Okay, nice, we hit. I think, and then exalt slam. T2! Boom! Oh my god, T2! It's T2 again! There is no way, dude. T1. Boom! Oh, T2! Oh, please! T1 attack speed. T1! T1! How do you miss the 50-50 3 times in a row? Okay, whatever, dude. And at this point, there's like nothing... You can't do anything else. So you just pray you hit. Ready? Boom! Gosh! This is probably the worst one. Boom! accuracy! It is T5! Dude! Oh my god. Okay, we did it. We did it. Here we go. 50-50! T1! T1 attack speed! Please, T1, T1! T1 attack speed! T1. Boom! Ah! T2! Oh, I'm not even kidding. You literally just slammed 2 exalts and we're done. You ready? Ready? You guys ready? You guys ready? Think T1, guys. Think T1. Please, T1, T1. Ah, okay. Boom! Oh! Oh! We did it! Oh my god! Anyways, bye guys. Bye bye. I'm yapping too much. Bye bye.